right, so today we're going to dive into a pretty powerful story.
Yeah.
Coming out of New Zealand.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those incredible pictures we've all seen
Yeah.
of, dozens of whales stranded on the beach.
Right.
Well, this is one of those stories.
Oh, wow.
And it's not just about the whales themselves.
Oh.
It's about the people who rushed in to help and this amazing connection between humans and these giant creatures.
That's incredible.
So let's set the scene.
Okay.
We're talking about Ruakaka Beach
Okay.
near Whangarei in New Zealand.
Wow.
And just a few days ago,
Mm-hmm.
over 30 pilot whales
Wow.
ended up beached there.
Oh, no.
Now, the really inspiring part is that hundreds of people
Wow.
showed up to help.
That's amazing.
They were using sheets like giant slings
Wow.
to try and lift these massive animals back into the water.
That's incredible.
It's like something you'd see in a movie.
I know, right?
But sadly, not all of the whales survived.
Wow.
3 adults and 1 calf died, which is, heartbreaking.
Yeah.
But what really struck me
Yeah.
was learning about the Maori cultural ceremonies
Oh, wow.
that were held for the whales that died.
That's right.
It adds this whole other layer of meaning to this already pretty incredible story.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where your expertise comes in.
Sure.
Can you help us understand what these ceremonies are all about?
Yeah, absolutely. You see, in Maori culture, whales are considered taonga,
Kaanga.
which means a sacred treasure.
Wow.
They hold a deep cultural and spiritual significance,
I see.
almost like family.
Wow.
So it's not just about saving the physical animal,
Right.
it's about honoring their spirit.
Wow.
So these ceremonies that they held for the whales that didn't make it,
Yeah.
they're incredibly powerful.
So what actually happens during these ceremonies?
Well, they involve karakia, which are prayers and chants,
Okay.
and they're offered to acknowledge the wairua of the whale,
Wairua.
which is their spirit. Sometimes they'll sprinkle the whales with water
Yeah.
and cover them with flax mats.
Wow.
And this symbolizes a return to the embrace of Tangaroa.
Who's Tangaroa?
Tangaroa is the god of the sea.
Oh, wow.
So it's really beautiful.
That is beautiful.
It's a powerful expression of their belief in the interconnectedness of all living things.
That's so different from how many other cultures view
But
whales.
exactly.
It's not just about conservation.
Right.
It's a spiritual connection.
Exactly.
It's really amazing.
It is.
But I have to ask,
Yeah.
this isn't the first time this has happened in New Zealand, right?
Sadly, no, you're absolutely right.
I mean, these images, they make headlines,
They do.
but it feels like we see them every few years.
You're right. New Zealand has a long history of whale strandings.
Like how long?
Well, they've documented over 5,000 strandings since 1840.
5,000.
That's a huge number.
Wow, that's a lot.
And pilot whales, like the ones we're talking about today,
Yeah.
they're particularly prone to it. Yeah. Back in 1918, 1,000 pilot whales stranded in the Chatham Islands.
1,000.
It's hard to even imagine.
That's incredible.
It is?
So what is it about New Zealand that makes it so dangerous for these animals?
Well, that's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, New Zealand's got this stunning coastline,
it does.
but it might actually be part of the problem.
Really? How so?
Well, the country's coastline has these really long, extended stretches
Okay.
and shallow, gradually sloping beaches.
Yeah.
And pilot whales, they navigate primarily using echolocation.
Echolocation.
Yeah, they send out sound wave
Uh-huh.
and then interpret the echoes to understand their surroundings.
Kind of like their own sonar system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But those sloping beaches, they can actually mess with their echolocation signals.
So it's like their GPS is getting scrambled
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
and they end up beached.
Right.
Wow.
It's a reminder that even the most sophisticated natural systems
Right.
can have their limitations.
It makes you wonder if things like rising sea levels and climate change might be making this problem even worse.
Yeah, that's a crucial question.
Yeah.
I mean, we know that climate change is affecting ocean currents and temperatures.
Right.
And that can impact the distribution of prey
Yeah.
and the whales' migratory patterns.
So it's like a chain reaction.
Exactly. It's a complex interplay of factors.
And we need to understand these potential links
We do.
if we want to protect these animals.
Absolutely.
So for those listening
Yeah.
who are probably wondering the same thing I am, what happens to the whales that do get rescued?
Right.
What are their chances?
Well, it really depends
On
on the severity of the stranding
Okay.
and how long they were out of the water.
Right.
Sometimes they can be refloated and guided back to deeper waters.
That's good.
But sadly, even rescued whales can face long-term health issues.
Oh, really?
Yeah, from the stress of the experience or internal injuries.
Wow. So these strandings, they're not just isolated events.
You got it.
They're part of a much bigger picture.
Exactly.
A picture that includes climate change,
Mhm.
human impact on the oceans.
Right.
It's all connected.
It is.
And it's something we need to think about.
Absolutely.
Every time we see those incredible images of whales,
Yeah.
whether they're swimming free or tragically beached,
Right.
it's a reminder of our responsibility to protect them.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, that's our deep dive for today.
Mm.
Thanks for listening.
It was a pleasure.
And we'll see you next time.
See you then.